Phez, hello, hello. Great to see you again. Our last interview was back in mid June. So we have July, August, September. Now we're in October. About 3.5 months or so ago. Not too long. Recently, I'd done someone that was 8 months ago. So, okay. It's nice that
Oh,
we're
wow.
keeping in touch, unlike 8 months later. Okay. How are you doing, Phez?
Yeah, I'm great. It's good to be speaking with you again, Ruckus. Like you
Mhm.
said, it's been 3.5 months, but it doesn't seem that long ago. And it seems like, I'm sure we'll go into it, but a lot of what I've learned has just sort of exploded since then of
Right.
opportunities and everything.
To give some perspective about our last interview, you had made $2,500 in within your first month of joining the real world. And in that process as well, not necessarily in that month, but along that process, you had dropped out of your job in order to pursue. I don't know if it was content creation or what the plan was at the time, but basically pursue an entrepreneurial journey. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So what was sort of going on before is I quit it because I was doing sort of like personal brand stuff, making money doing personal brand, and sort of further down the line as I got introduced to the UGC campus was that I could be creating content for myself, doing sort of like it was more like entertainment, so it was like doing like football videos. But now, sort of being in the campus, learning what UGC was for the first time, which I had no idea what it was, realizing that you can actually be paid to do video advertisement, like 30-second videos for brands and get paid crazy money. Um, I sort of pivoted a bit to go more towards like the e-commerce route, and that's sort of now like the route is like I'm taking my content creation skills and taking it more into ecom.
Explain when that transition happened to ecom. And when you say ecom, for other stores, you make ads for them, or have you done your own e-commerce thing as well?
Yeah, so that's how it started. It started with doing UGC for different stores and different brands, and sort of as it progressed, and I was like learning more about like organic content because that was sort of like the paid route. I was learning of you can also do like organic. So then I started doing like posting TikToks for different brands and then being paid to do that monthly. And now I'm at a point where I'm like, I've got the skill of content creation and I know I'm going to get better. So why not try it for myself? Why not try it on my own store? And that's literally what I've done this week. Is post a video. Me and my friend were grinding together, started an ecom store. We actually posted our first video, I think, 1 or 2 days ago, and it's it's actually blown up. So I think it's on about 470K views from the first video. So we think we got a good product. And today I've just been going through the ecom campus, get my store set up ASAP. So hopefully we can start getting the link in bio and getting some sales. But I haven't got any money through that yet. It's being money doing it for other brands, but I thought why not try it for myself?
Okay. Wow, congratulations. That's a considerable amount of views on a video. What would you say are the aspects of getting better at content creation? What are the main aspects of it? And especially just being in front of a camera as if you're doing an ad for an e-commerce store.
Yeah, the main importance of content creation is knowing exactly who you're targeting, is knowing who you want to put yourself in front of, knowing why they would want to watch the video, and actually making that video valuable to them in some way. Whether that's like it's somewhat like entertaining, whether it's like hitting pain point, whether it's like emotionally triggering someone, like being in a positive way or a bad way, as long as that's going to sort of keep them engaged and make them wondering, like, what is this video about? Let me watch it. Let me comment. Let me share. That's really the key is understanding your target audience.
Interesting. Okay. So that's in terms of making better ads when you understand the audience. But what about for yourself in front of a camera? What have you noticed improving? Let's say the main aspects of what you've noticed in yourself in front of a camera having improved over these 3 months.
I would say that in front of the camera, the main thing is just be confident with what you're saying. I think a problem that I had before is that I would always like try to think about beforehand what I'm going to say, sort of like prep some things, and then it would always lead to like stuttering and then thinking about, oh, missed about saying that. I want to say that next time, and then it doesn't make sense. But now it's just, you know what you're doing, you just speak your mind, you're confident, a smile on your face, and that's it basically.
Interesting. Okay. And how is everything that you're doing now translated monetarily? How much are you making per month, roughly?
Yeah, so last month I did about 3,500. So at the start it was I did the 2.5K, and that was through doing my old like my personal brand and then doing UGC on the side. Well, doing UGC along with, and then it sort of progressed from there. I was just doing UGC, and then I stopped. This I slightly did less UGC, just sort of working with the brands that I was doing, and then started doing the TikToks, and then that sort of, and now I've started like kind of doing less TikToks because that was taking up quite a lot of time, doing that every day for different brands. So I've sort of scaled that down now and just sort of focusing on learning like ecom, learning where else I can take the content creation skills, because we are literally in a new era now where being able to be good at content creations, like I think specifically short form, is going to like pay massive dividends in the future. So I'm just really nailing down that skill and trying to master that, and mainly sort of organic for the moment.
Give some more context on why it's so huge to get good at short form content.
The well, a lot of different social medias like TikTok, YouTube, Instagram Reels, even like Facebook Reels now, they've all sort of had, they all used to be like entertainment based. They were quite separate from like e-commerce. Um, but now like it's sort of becoming congruent. So a lot of what you'll see in the feed is like when you swipe is like UGC content, and everyone's like starting to pick up on that now. There's now TikTok, which is integrating its own shop feature. So when you swipe, you can just click one button and then you can buy a product, as opposed to before when you had to go to the link in bio and there was just extra step to go there, which would lower conversion rates. And YouTube Shorts are also opening their own store onto YouTube Shorts. So I think every single social media is starting to pick up that short form video advertisement can like, you can get crazy money, and it costs less for the for brands than doing like long form ads, doing like TV commercials or anything like that. So I think this is like the start of something huge, especially with all of these apps. Like Amazon as well have their own feature now where you can scroll through. So I can see everyone starting to pick up on it. So that's why I want to sort of focus in on that content creation, doing it for products. I'll be able to do it for myself to start with. So then I'll have like case studies that I can take to other brands, because it's a fairly new concept. I think it'd be quite a hard sell to other brands
Mhm.
right now, unless I had the case study. So I'm sort of doing that for myself now, and then hopefully I'll be able to take it to the big brands in the future, or maybe make my own brand. Who knows? But I know that there's a lot of capital needed for that, but
Mhm.
who knows what I can make in the meantime.
Right.
And then basically, yeah, just try and scale from there and probably go down the agency route at that point.
Okay, very interesting. So yeah, as you say, there's a lot of potential there for sure. Even I didn't
Oh
realize.
yeah.
So thank you for the perspective there. And how would you say your average day has changed in those 3 months? Are there any differences?
Yeah, massive differences. Before, when I was going down the like traditional UGC route, me, like I was always like outreach to brands. I was actually teaming up with other members inside the real world, and we came together to create like an agency. We were sort of just putting ourselves together to outreach to brands, to like shoot videos, hire talent, and it was basically, in my opinion, it was just a bit too much too soon, that we needed to sort of master the content creation ourselves, so we could actually know every sort of like specific of what works in different niches, um, being able to actually like manage and delegate things properly and get the editing skills on point, know what actually like converts in the market. So it was a little bit naive. So we were doing a lot of working together, but I think now it's just me sort of as an individual honing my skills, like taken a lot of time myself to understand the market because I didn't know anything about e-commerce really, but was good at content creation. But sort of going into the details and seeing how brands actually work, sort of like internally, was really interesting because I think a lot of brands actually like edit up UGC, like reuse it. So I've been editing up different people's UGCs for brands, creating videos, and learning more about the back end stuff, which will help me in the future with creating the videos.
Okay, interesting. It seems you have quite a bit going on, which is always good to hear. Then, in 3 months or 3.5 months, for someone who's putting in a lot of work into themselves and into the skill sets, I'm sure you notice a lot of changes within yourself, even though usually people would consider a short time period. So, what changes have you noticed? What things could you talk about that you can reflect on yourself?
I think 3 months ago, I was well, it was sort of like my first time really going into like making money as sort of an entrepreneur because before it was all I was doing the 9 to 5, obviously, and then I was doing my own personal brand, which it's obviously you're making money, but wasn't necessarily entrepreneurial because I was just sort of posting videos, entertainment. But now learning about business, learning about how hard it actually is being an entrepreneur, how you can't just have an idea, do it, and it works. You actually have to like build yourself into someone who deserves to make the money that you want to make. So it's a lot of self reflection, sort of realizing where things have gone wrong in the past, which is like, I think when I spoke about working as trying to do it as an agency before, figuring out why that didn't work, figuring out, um, yeah, where I went wrong basically, and just accepting what things I didn't want to accept in the past. Like I need to get fitness on point for sure. Just something I'm still working on, and mindset as well, of course. Which everyone I know, and I've seen a lot of your interviews. Everyone says is like a number one thing, which a lot of people might say is like cliche. I know you've heard it before, but it definitely is. Mindset is the main thing.
Because a lot of what you think about and goes on internally ends up being projected out into reality and becoming true. Don't know how spiritual you are, but yeah, I will say that. And it just does seem to
Hundred
be the
percent,
case. So yeah.
100%.
Mhm. Okay. So you have UGC, e-commerce, all for the real world, right? E-commerce included. So how's that been like learning e-commerce? What would you say have been the challenges with it?
I think I'm only at the start of my journey. The thing with e-commerce is going into it is it's first just started as an idea. It's just thinking because I was doing the videos for different brands, thinking this is good doing it for other brands, but I could be doing it for myself. It's just sort of thinking well, it's worth a try just to
Mhm.
see what happens. So and then when going through the lectures and then looking at all the different things, looking at you having to build like your store page, you having to do email marketing, like there's a lot of skills that go into it. So it's just really interesting that I have to learn all of these different skills. But I know that at the end of the day, the main skill that I want to focus on is the content creation. But it's always good to have in the back of my mind that knowledge of how like e-commerce businesses actually run by doing it myself rather than just doing the video creation and not sort of like really acknowledging the metrics behind it.
Interesting. Okay. Would you consider doing copywriting as well? Because I know that kind of interlinks with e-commerce. Or would you say it's not as necessary?
Yeah, copywriting actually is in like needed within content creation because for certain videos you'll have to like script the video that you know that will convert. So you have to sort of use excuse me, you have to use your copywriting skills to be able to create a good script that will convert. And of course in the store page and everything, which is not massively the focus, but yeah. And I think that's really the main thing is because I know before I said I want to be making like crazy money, and that's like that. in some ways that's my like positive, that I'm like have delusional goals, like I want to hit crazy numbers, and it's also sort of a negative because now I'm thinking, oh my god, I got all of this stuff to learn. It's But then the reason why I know I can sort of take on the challenge is because it is covered in, like you say, it's covered in every campus inside the real world. So you got stuff in the copywriting campus, you can go and learn more about like human persuasion, how to like write scripts, how to do everything, content creation, integrating AI into videos, editing, everything, and then like you've pretty much got everything that you need. So if you ever stuck in one particular area, you can go to any campus and ask the professor anything specific, which I feel like is a bit of a cheat code having access to all of that for $50. But
Right, right.
that's why I'm happy to just give it a go, and I've actually persuaded my friend to join me on the venture.
How close of a friend is that?
Yeah, yeah, a very close
Mhm.
friend from grew up together in primary school, secondary school. He was in a similar situation where he's like graduated uni, was doing a job, and did not agree with the things that they were doing in the job, and just realized that the whole 9 to 5 is basically they are scamming you. Like you are a
Mhm.
slave to the job, and he was fed up also. So I got him inside of the real world. He sort of had the vision originally of doing e-commerce, and I sort of was thinking, because beforehand I was always sort of like, I prefer doing the content creation, but it's just a good idea that we sort of bring it together, and it's going to be more that I'm going to be focusing on the like the organic content creation. He'll probably be doing more of the ads and the paid ads side once we've got the cash flow. And yeah, I think it'd be a really good duo. So I'm excited to see how it goes.
Awesome. And that's the beauty of it as well. If you do have friends, then you each learn a different skill set, and it's combined so well. Because again, something I've only really truly realized fairly recently after speaking to an interviewee who's gone through pretty much every single campus is that they all interlink in some way to make you a full stack. I don't know if you'd call it marketer or what, but everything does interlink. And when you first start out, you don't realize, you think they're all separate, but everything you learn in each campus can be combined to basically just build your own business doing whatever it is you choose to do, which is super interesting.
Yeah, that's something I've noticed as well, is that it's definitely good guidance to definitely stick with one campus to start with. But then the deeper that well, in my case, the deeper that I went into UGC, the more that I learned that the bigger opportunity was within e-commerce, and was within content creation within e-commerce for me specifically. But then I could always bring in the other side of someone else helping in another area of e-com. So yeah, it's all sort of coming together, and I know that if we just keep putting in the reps, keep learning every day, that we'll get there.
All right, beautiful. Okay. You mentioned AI earlier. Have you integrated AI in any way into what you do?
Yeah, so a lot of the TikToks I would do, I would actually use AI images. So I'd use things like Mid Journey. I would use some Kyber as well to in videos to sort of create that wow factor when people are watching. Think, oh, what's that? Is it like that's actually quite a good hook to use, and that's been going quite well. I think you utilizing AI, it sort of helps save time as well, because you're just using images. You can use images inside of the video, which does save a bit of time. But then obviously it's the prompting and everything to get like a good picture that stands out is something that you just need to keep testing, and also like just ask people inside the campus what prompts work for them to create like shocking images and things. And as well as a reason why I thought it would be perfect with e-commerce, because you can actually use this is like one of the first lessons that Pope taught inside of the campus, and I was thinking at the time, why is he teaching us this? I had no idea why he was teaching us it, but it was actually using AI to create like product images, and that's something that in the future, if I have that skill, being able to do that, that will be like huge for my brand, or for if I'm doing that for other brands. Um, but yeah, I said this to Pope that at the start of the campus, when he was releasing things about AI and just going down the UGC route. I wasn't quite sure why he was releasing these things. I was like, come on, I want the Performance Creator Bootcamp to come out. I want to learn the six-figure ad formula. But now I'm sort of at a stage now where I'm like, okay, this is what's going to separate us from everyone else, because there's thousands and thousands of people trying to do like short form content, trying to do like content creation. But this is like what's going to separate the real world students from every other person who's out there trying to succeed in here.
Or yeah, Pope's a marketing genius. So sometimes it might be hard in the short term to see what he has planned, but he's always got something, obviously, for long term that he knows will be the best way to do things. So again, beautiful
Yeah,
that you gave that example.
pretty much everything Pope says in the end, in the end, turns out right. So
Yeah.
no matter how much you think at the time, "Well, I could probably do it differently," he'll always end up being right.
Okay. Since you've been quite involved in the content creation and AI campus, what changes have you seen in these 3.5 months within it?
It's a completely new campus now. So at the start, it was really just camera based. You put on your camera, you'd start talking. There wasn't really much editing involved at the start because it was all focused on your speaking abilities and your sort of like ability to sell through persuasion. And then there was some editing involved, and then he released the editing campus and like the content creation essentials, and then it became AI, and now it's just a whole like mass of just different things that you can implement into content creation to help your content creation stand out. So it is completely different how like what was the whole campus before has now just become like a small subsection of a huge campus, and I think it's only going to get bigger, so I'm just excited to see what's going to happen
Mhm.
next.
Awesome. Okay. And earlier you mentioned performance creator bootcamp. How much of that can you reveal about what that is?
I think I can reveal most of it now, but it's basically the process that Pope himself used to land Tate as a client. So we actually were taught sort of the whole process from doing your market research, figuring out who you want to work with, what the gap in the market is for them, being able to prove to them that you can like fill that gap for them and do those services, and then obviously then fulfilling the service by going through the courses and the lessons. So it really is like a huge like just way to get like big like paying clients that I'm hoping that as I develop my content creation skills and I build up those like case studies for myself. I've already sort of got case studies from working with other brands, but like specifically I'm thinking about the new features like the TikTok shop and features like that. I want to have those case studies for myself, so then I can use basically the performance creator bootcamp system to land like a huge client because it's such a new feature and big brands could make big money on this. So that's the aim for me right now.
Very interesting. Okay. And again, how insane is that? This is just the content creation and AI campus, and there's so much just in that one campus already, and
Yeah,
all for
yeah, massive.
$50. They're insane. What
Yeah.
are they doing? Charge more. Charge more.
No, honestly, it should be $50 like per campus,
Minimum.
and
Yeah.
that even that's a steal.
Yeah. Exactly.
You get
Crazy.
access to everything. I think a lot of people join and they might even just like see one campus and think that's good, or they might see one campus and think that's it. But like I haven't even joined all of the campuses, and there's even more. So yeah, for $50, you literally cannot go wrong. Is what I think we were like touching on earlier, is that you spend enough time in each campus, you learn more about different business models and the opportunities in there. You keep building up your skills, and over time you will succeed as long as you follow the path, learn. You just become a better marketer, exactly as you said. I do believe it's more like marketer.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Okay.
if you're not willing to pay $50 to be to get more than a uni degree would ever get you, then unfortunately you're always going to be broke. I'm sorry.
Mhm. And now, on an actual serious note, this is the future of education, it seems. And I like that they acquired university.com. That was G.
Mm,
I love that. But
yes.
again, this is where it's heading towards. Just seems a platform like this is the future of education.
Yeah, 100%. I think the reason that so many people are like warm towards um, university.com and like the real world is everyone knows deep down in school when you're learning things in the back of your mind, you think, why am I learning this? How is this going to help me? How is this going to make me money? And that is the point. Everyone knows it deep down. You're almost not allowed to say it. It's because it's true. It doesn't make you money. The teachers are in there learning, like they went to school to learn and then they become a teacher to teach you how to do whatever. But then there are 15-year-olds inside of the real world making more money than the teachers. So it doesn't make any sense. So I'd much rather go to something like the real world for $50 as opposed to like university or school or whatever and paying thousands and thousands. Um, and this one, you can actually get honest reviews from people. Like you can see through all of these interviews, you can see through case studies, you can actually reach out to people who've made money going through leaderboard, adding them as a friend. Like I can see exactly why people in the future are just going to think, I'm not going to listen to these people anymore. There are
Mhm.
people online who are making money. They've got the proof. I'm going to listen to them.
Exactly. A very well structured answer. So you're on the cusp of a breakthrough, it seems, with everything you have going on. So considering that, where do you see your life heading in the short term, medium term, and long term?
Short term, it now is Q4. So now the short term is where I need to put in the most hours, the most reps, learn as much as I can, and hopefully get some results. I know that everyone's buying now, so it's like the perfect time really to get into be doing content creation for like e-commerce because people are happy to buy. If you can create a good video for someone now, you're gonna get sales. So that is the goal now, to put in the work, put as much content out into the universe as possible to get results, get feedback, learn as much as I can within these next 3 months. Because these next 3 months are going to set up my entire year. So it's going to be a crazy next 3 months. I'm going to learn so much. It's going to be just, I don't know, like just non-stop work. And then that whole is 3 months is going to set the foundation for what I'm going to do for the like 2024 moving forward. Yeah, I think it's going to be quite hectic, but I'm really looking forward to it.
All right. Because as men, we're built to conquer.
Yes, sir.
Good. Awesome. All right. So now to end off, I'm sure I asked this last time as well. I want to see you can give the same answer or a different answer for people who are unsure about joining the real world because it's a scam. It must be. There's no way you're not a paid actor. What advice would you have to them?
I would say if you're scared about the real joining the real world, you think it's a scam, you don't think it's worth the money, I would say go to the landing page, scroll down, look at all of the testimonials that are on there, see all of the different business models there are. Think, does one of them stick out to you? Do you think you could do one of the many things that people are doing? Because I know for a fact that you can, no matter your situation, because there's editing for people who don't like speaking on camera. There's obviously talking on camera skills for people on camera. There's trading. There's literally endless ways to make money, and there's proof that people are making money. Join, try it for yourself, and you might find something that you like. And if not, there's another campus that will get you money because if something doesn't work in one campus, you know for a fact there are people making money in another one. So join it, try your hardest, put in the work, you will make money. It's impossible to fail.
Right. Because again, you're given the right guidance, and then it's just on you to put in the work, and it's inevitable
100%,
that you
yeah.
succeed. So yeah. Awesome. Okay, Fez, nice catch up. Didn't realize it's been 30 minutes already. Oh, the time flew by.
Yeah, it's gone by quickly, yeah.
All right, it was great catching up. Yeah, we'll do another one probably at the start of next year. I think that would be
I
a
can't wait,
way to
yeah.
go.
100%, yeah.
100%.
Gonna hold me accountable. I'm
Yeah,
gonna be doing that interview in 3 months and hopefully we'll have some interesting results.
love that. All right, so all the best to you, and until then.
Appreciate it, Ruckus. Have a good day.